Yo, this Queenzflip, we are here. We are with my man, Ric Silver, the creator of the electric slide. Make some noise, y'all, for him. We got the whole Flip the Network cast in the building. We got my man Push Talk Radio, you know what I mean? We got Pink Diamond, we got Breadman, Kariel, Big Fear, QUEENA, we got Rose, we got Duttiness, Momo, we got Gblacks. We got everybody. And Rick is going to show us how to do the electric slide the right way. Take it from there, Rick, whenever you're ready.
Most of you know the electric slide as an 18-step dance, but actually it's supposed to have 22 steps, because my birthday is January 22nd. So it starts with 3 threes. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, and then 2 twos. 1, 2. And then people think there's a step and a flick, but it's actually a step and a hop, which eventually turns into tours in the air. And from there you start over. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 2, and 1, hop. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, hop. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, hop. 1, 2, 3. Now the dance from here, you can do half turns. So you're doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and you can do them going back. 1, 2, 3. This step changes from step forward, step back, to step forward, kick, step back, lunge, and slap the floor. Which at 75 I can't do anymore. And then the step hop turns into a tour in the air, which is a single turn, and then a double turn at the end, which I can't do anymore. But
So, ask the gentleman Push Talk to do it.
can you do it?
I can do it.
You gotta spin it.
Okay, so you're just gonna step and double tour. That's a single. Twice in the air, off the ground.
Can my foot leave the ground or my foot stays on?
You're off the ground. No, nothing touches the floor.
Yeah, like a ballerina.
Two around in the air.
I got you. It's like a whirlwind, like a.
Yes,
That was one.
that's one.
Two.
Two.
Two of them at one time?
Two of them at the same time.
So like
I can't get you two.
Right?
No.
This dance was created for professional dancers. There's no way these people are going to be able to, without falling on the
There's
red.
no way you can do 2 turns in the
That's the
field.
play that shoes, they ain't paying out.
There's no way you can do 2 turns.
Single, I can't.
That's
You
one.
can do a single really nice.
All right.
That's good.
That's one?
Let me get smooth.
Double is difficult.
Oh, like a
That's why you're a
double flip.
professional dancer. You study for 20 years in order to be able to do it.
So is it jumping high in the air?
And spinning.
It's jumping and spinning at the same time. Yeah. You have to go off the floor high enough so that you can get around that second time before you touch down.
That's why they took that part out, Rick.
Male dancers
So did you
do it all the time. Every performance you go to, they're doing double tours.
They do double tours.
But
You didn't want to go back to that?
No.
You didn't want to go back to that?
I used to do this all the time.
I can get you one though.
Every night I had to teach
Give me
this.
some. I'm gonna figure it
I worked the door as a doorman, and then people would come up and say, teach me the electric slide. So I'd have to stop working the door, go onto the dance floor, and everybody would get on the dance floor. We'd put on the record, and I'd teach the electric slide. And right up until the time that we opened the club to the general public, we were all doing double tours in the air. I mean, we had 30 people on the floor doing double tours in the air, all at the same time. But when they opened the club to the general public and allowed non-dancers or people who thought they could dance onto the dance floor, they brought a drink onto the dance floor and spilled it. And I went up and did a double tour and came down, and this is the result.
Oh, shit, God. Oh, man.
Oh, that's why you say you can't do it right now.
So let me ask you a question. So just give a brief summary to the audience of how you came up with the electric slide. You started to tell us, but tell the camera.
I was dancing with Larry Richardson and doing a show with Alvin Ailey's Third String Dancers, and I saw an ad in backstage that said Beefsteak Charlie's was opening a discotheque and needed bartenders and waiters. And I said, hey, that's a nice evening job. So I went and applied, and I took my accounting resume and my acting dance resume, and when they saw that I was a professional dancer, they said, you're just what we've been looking for. We want this club to be just for professional dancers. Would you give the opening night party? So I did, and then I worked the door and made sure that only good-looking people who looked like they could dance got in the door. It was supposed to be only professional dancers.
Got it. Oh, yeah.
But if I thought you looked like you could dance, you got in.
Sure.
And that dance floor was packed every night, and we had a line of people all the way around the block. That's 71st and Broadway. All the way around the block. And they decided they'd open the club to the general public. I said, two things are gonna happen. One, all these professional dancers that you've been putting up with for 6 months are gonna walk. And secondly, somebody's gonna bring a drink onto the dance floor, spill it, not clean it up, and somebody is gonna get hurt. Well, I was that person. Because shortly after somebody spilled the drink, they said, oh, Rick, teach us the electric slide. And I was so used to just teaching the first 2 sections, because once we opened the club to the general public, that's all they could do. When I got to the half turns, they're going, oh, that's too much, we can't do that. So I had to dumb it down to just 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. When she sings, I'll teach you the electric slide, that's actually the electric slide.
How did they get to Marcia? How did the dance get to her or to them?
Bunny Wailer wrote the music and the lyrics.
Gotcha.
He was with Bob Marley, and Marcia was their singer.
I3.
So he did a recording of it with Bob Marley and sent it out on a 45 to all the DJs in New York City. And I walked into the club on 14th Street and 8th Avenue, and the DJ and I were real good friends. He says, Rick, I got this new record in I think you're gonna like. Marcia Griffith's Electric Boogie. He puts it on and played it, and I went, ooh, that's cool. And as I was walking out the door that night, he handed me the demo. I said, don't you want this? He said, no, you can do more with it. So I put it on a shelf. Then Beefsteak Charlie's came to me and said, the clientele is slipping, we're gonna open to the general public. We want you to give another party. Because the one you gave was the only party that made us any money. They had me give the Friday night party. Saturday night was a party giver who did Neil Sedaka's birthday and things like that. She had shrimp the size of my fist. And Sunday night, one of the girls that worked at Beefsteak Charlie's office did a black party. Leontine Price was there, Will Chamberlain was there. It was nice. Except nobody tipped. So my night, the bartenders went home with $500 in their pockets. So they said, ooh, can you give another party? I said, sure. And oh, by the way, can you create a dance to premiere at that party? I went, well, I got this record at home. I can see what I can do. So I put it together. Went home, took the record off the shelf, and made the dance. And when I started it, it was an 18-step dance until I started making it harder. And when you get to single pirouettes, you need that double step in there in order to get your head back on straight to go back into single pirouettes.
Makes sense.
Because without it, you're...
Busy. Got it.
And then for doubles, it's even worse. You have to know what you're doing. Because there's 3 of those.
Have you seen anyone do it right?
No. The only person who did it right, as far as the dance steps, was the movie with Danny DeVito called The Super, where he is in Manhattan and his father owns apartment buildings and his father makes him stay in his own apartment building, and there's a party upstairs and he goes upstairs to the party and everybody's doing the electric slide. They're doing the 22-step dance because I taught the person who was teaching them.
Oh.
But every other movie that's come out, The Replacements, The Best Man, they all do the 18-step version.
So
Because Tyler Perry taught it on Oprah. And Tyler Perry used it in the first 3 Medea shows that he did.
Wow.
And I'm still trying to get paid. He owes me $49,000.
All right now.
Let's talk about it. Regulations.
You ain't getting none of that.
And the best man has never paid me. Ellen DeGeneres has never paid me.
Oh, we find Ellen today. We find Ellen today.
Yeah, she had,
I bet you submit this, you can get your money.
what's her name? Tori Spelling? No, not Tori Spelling.
Ellen DeGeneres, I bet you.
Oh. One of the girls I like too. She had somebody on, and she brought on a country western dance troupe to teach her how to do the electric slide, and they taught her the 18-step version on national TV. And the same week, Oprah had it on, because I watched it on
He's on a retro
Oprah and saw it. And my mother watches Ellen, and she saw it on there because that weekend was Super Bowl weekend, and I went to my mom's to watch the Super Bowl game, and we're sitting at the table having dinner, and I said, oh, by the way, I was on Oprah this week. She said, you were on Ellen too.
So to this
So I
day,
sent
you
them
got
both.
no credit.
Oh yeah, I got credit, but I don't get paid. I'm supposed to get paid when they put it on national TV or put it in a movie.
You are.
I have a copyright.
Wow.
It's my material.
No residual.
No residual.
So you know what we're gonna
Oprah did send me a check for $1,500 and told me that it was on for 30 seconds.
That's it? She said it was on.
And it was on for a minute and 20 seconds.
Now, we about to get Oprah now, we going.
I sent her an invoice, but actually no, it was 1 minute and 13 seconds. And I was going to charge her for the 13 seconds, and then I said, no, I'll just charge her for the extra half minute. So I sent her an invoice for $1,500, and I added on a $5,000 penalty for not crediting me with the dance, and a $50,000 for not giving me credit on the TV screen. And her lawyers called me and said, we're not paying these penalties. We'll pay you the $1,500. I said, no, I want the whole thing. Well, take us to court. So I'm still waiting.
So, you know, we do plan on, we do plan on getting you in the studio, you know, we have a studio in Midtown for an actual sit-down interview on the podcast, which will be later in July.
Okay.
Bring you out so you can flip the script, so you can have your word and your say. But for now, we want to play some music, you show the dance, and then after that, you can see it. I mean?
Okay.
But I'm definitely, I'm going to speak to Bassie. We definitely want to get you back out here to actually sit on the couch and do the interview. It's very important to us, because I want to hear about who stole who and who you money.
Be ready. Be ready.
Best Man was done by
He already
Go.
looks like she's tired. Look, don't be tired.
I'm terrible at dancing.
Wait, so I don't know, I think you do the full spin, we come up
Yeah.
down. Is that what you do?
That's good.
You do the black swan. Yeah, you do swan.
I can see it.
What's the turn part? Well, you know,
Cut his body off.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
This one, I'm saying,
He did a lot of those.
40.
Oh, that's fine.
That's who I sent the bill to. Never been paid.
I was gonna do that.
But you know, it's directed this man, Momo? Spike
No.
They always.
That's when you lay to the side when you jump.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you try to do it like a whale.
Okay, so we start with the side.
You gotta start from the beginning.
You have this.
That's just the first spin.
Right now, all of a sudden you was screaming.
Once you step off.
Can you okay, man? You back. She back. It's wild, bro.
I told her she better be doing no butterflies or no bowls up in here.
All right.
Pink diamond.
Yeah.
She's traumatized. I ain't that. She know what time it is?
I see the video. It gotta be a way to do it though.
Yeah. Gotta be sure.
This is for JBL.
Exactly.
Right.
Are you talking about 2 kilos?
What they call it?
Well, you start from one, you can't do it.
Do you come on one? Okay, you jump.
That's how I learned. That's how I learned with the knees.
That's my hand.
They got the great subclass in the lineup. Now you
But I have to jump up.
So why do people do this?
That's the country western people that thought it was a fancy toy.
That's hard.
Oh, so you just hot.
We about to get down, huh? I want to see you do the double split, right? My name is Jack.
kick, step, lunge.
Step,
Kick,
step, kick,
step, no. Back on that leg. Step, kick, step back on that leg, and then lunge.
Do we touch this whole basically like step?
No, this
kick,
leg.
step, like this?
Yes.
What the? All right, so again.
Step forward, kick,
Kick.
step back, and lunge. No, step foot.
Yeah.
Step, kick, step, lunge.
And then boom. Look like this. Look like this. Look.
Step, kick,
Boom.
step, lunge. Yep.
Boom, step, kick. Close to the wall.
Wow. Boom.
And when you lunge, you're supposed to
Nah, you getting sturdy.
I got to move.
I wanna know that
Step,
part.
kick, come back.
step, kick, step, lunge.
All right, Rick.
Step, kick.
Yeah.
And slap the floor.
Yeah. So I think.
Don't kick me, wait. Step,
You
kick,
got to get
back.
stretched so that you can touch the floor while you're back.
Oh.
Oh, so you have to, like,
When do we
that's
ask
a
this
position
one?
right there.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So after
The
that,
other way around. I can't do it.
I got it. Come on, bro.
Hey, but
Your turn. Let's go.
I got you. I got to let her right by the girl. Where's the Rick? What is the Papa Chulo?
Step, kick, step, lunge.
Oh.
It's like
step with your left and kick with your
It says
right.
step, be like
No, the other way, the other way.
I'll do it.
Right, yeah.
Step.
Yeah.
Now I
Step with your left.
my cane.
Get them here.
The other foot, bro.
Step forward with your
That
left.
foot.
Step,
Slow.
kick,
Yes.
step, lunge.
Yeah, with your
Step.
step, kick,
Kick.
step back.
Kick like.
Kick with your left.
Yo.
The kick is up here.
No, that
Step,
put down
kick,
your
back, down. Step,
Put on
kick,
your
Okay, we
back,
got it.
down. Step,
Sashay.
kick,
You got
back,
that.
down.
Sashay.
Our video. We're just breaking it with our video.
Okay.
You ready now, Rick? We'll take like 5 minutes. You can take 5 minutes.
I'm good.
No, say it no good. Come on.
No, brother.
Oh, that is Chris Angel. I used to watch that. I used to watch Chris Angel.
I can push it.
Yeah.
I learned how to do this.
Start at the top.
Ready?
Music.